welcome back to the review. Obviously, as you know, we took this bike out the other day, give it basically a test ride to see how it performed, and to be honest with you, I was impressed. Like I said, suspension is all stock, engine at the time was stock, no mods, and it performed really well. Jetting, I think, needs to be done, so obviously that will be another video at a later date. Starting with the top, we've got Renthal twin wheels, 997s, slightly higher rise than normal. Basically, that's what I prefer to ride with, and I like the Renthals being quite stiff, so gone with the Renthals. We've got the AS3 clamps, obviously, which help if you do have an off and you whack your levers, they don't snap. They don't snap the clutch master, or sometimes they don't clap. They can smash your lever. They'll actually just twist. So it's a good investment. What I have found, especially with this stop button, obviously this is a 23, they are very temperamental. I find the tops, if you catch the tops, they will break. And also going to the starter button, don't know if some of you have experienced it yet, maybe not. When you jet wash the bike, if you're not regularly stripping this throttle body apart, or mechanism, whatever you want to call it, it builds up a lot of crap on the inside contactor. So some of you might have experienced it where you press the button and you just get a jud, nothing happens with the starter. Or you might press it again and then it'll start to go. It might take a couple of times to get it going. It's because you've got a dirty contactor inside the starter button. So that needs to be cleaned regularly. Also, I've found the mapping switch, because of obviously the way it sticks out, sometimes I catch my hand on it, and obviously hit it out of position 1 to 2, or vice versa. So on my old bike, I actually ground the tip off with a junior axle, so it was flush, so it wouldn't actually catch. So that's another thing I'll probably be doing with this bike. I've actually got X-Tricks on you. Do I need them on you? Probably not. I had them on my old KTM, so I just put them on. Do they make a massive difference? No. The bike is pretty sound anyway. It doesn't rattle. With the counterbalanced engine, it's pretty good. So they're not really anything big to worry about. Obviously, as you can see, I have changed the plastics. These are just old plastics I've had from my old bike, so the originals, just going to keep them basically for the summer, with the weather being as it is. Just run my old ones now, so they don't get ruined through the winter. Service handguards, just find them a bit more sturdy than the originals. I find the originals a bit flexy, not really up to much. And these are quite flexible, so if you do come off, they don't just snap and break. Going to the front, obviously pull strap. Most people use a pull strap, and I also use these service fork guard protectors, which I find are great. Used them on my old bike. One, it protects the fork legs, and secondly, it keeps all the stickers and that looking like new underneath, if I'm honest. So they are a good investment. They're not a lot of money. They're well worth buying. Bulletproof rad guards, in my opinion, is a must. These radiators are not the strongest. if you're not running rad guards or braces, if you have a bit of a fast off, you are going to bend the rad, 100%. So definitely rad guards or braces. These are the bulletproof ones, really good, expensive but good, well worth it. Moving down, as you can see, has a Moto ES torque pipe, not standard obviously. The reason I run this pipe is because the longevity of it. It is super strong. It's super strong, and it's real easy to clean. Whereas with the stock pipe, they are quite soft. So if you are doing a lot of hard enduro stuff, you're catching rocks, etc., you're just going to obliterate it within no time. I find the Moto ES is really strong, and also being stainless. The stock pipe, I find after a while, all the mud will actually gather on the neck and just build up and go brown and just basically go all dirty and hanging. Whereas these, in fairness, they stay real good for a long time. They don't gather all the crap. It's just give them a good wash, bit of dirt magic or whatever you use, and they come up like new. Just an oversized brake pedal tip. I just prefer it being slightly bigger to the stock, and also Moto ES titanium pegs. Great for stability. I just find they just, your feet feel way more planted on the bike, and way more grip. So I would say that's another good investment. Again, not cheap, but definitely worth the investment. Going back up, gripper seat, awesome bit of kit. Stock seat I find very thin, especially on the right in across the badge here, just splits within no time. But these gripper seats are really good, grippy, they last, definitely worth investing. SM Pro wheels, basically put the SM Pro wheels on there because I just find they're a stronger, better wheel, and I like them. Personal preference, I suppose. Some people say, well, it's not, you get nothing out of it. Well, maybe not, but I do think they're a better wheel than the standard wheels, so that's why I run them. Obviously, as you can see through the wheel, disc guard I think is a must on the front, definitely if you're doing a bit of hard enduro, to obviously stop anything bending your disc. Moving to the back, rear disc guard, again I think is a must. Obviously don't want to be smashing your rear disc on any rocks and bending that. And I think lastly, rear pull strap. I don't know if you can see it, I have got an RK Tech head on here. I've put it on, I have rode with it, and I will be doing a review on it. I'm not going to go into too much detail yet because I'm still in the process of testing it. But if I can say anything now, it does make a difference, 100%. With the torque. So yeah, that's another thing we're going to go into another time. And also I've got coming a clutch cover, and I'll remove the standard and I'll put a hardened one, AS3 or something similar on. On the other side of the bike, on the ignition side, I run the plastic Polysports. But I find if you run them on the clutch cover, although they protect the clutch cover itself, it actually ruins it because of all the mud that gets down behind the cover. So then when you take it off, all this cover is pitted. So as much as people think, yeah, they're great, they protect the cover, blah blah blah, and when I sell the bike I'll take it off and the cover will be looking like new. Wrong, they don't. It actually pits them and it will ruin the cover. So that's something to just think about if you're thinking of using covers. Yes, they help protect, but they also ruin the covers as well. There will be more videos regarding, obviously, the jetting, the head, the upgraded head, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the clutch. Obviously, when I get the clutch cover and I strip that down, we'll go into that again. Oh, just one thing I wanted to talk about as well with regards to the difference between when I ride this to a TPI, for people who are not 100% sure. The biggest difference I find with the Carburettor to the TPI is the low down torque and power delivery. So the easiest way of explaining it, when you ride a TPI, the throttle response is very sharp. So when you get on the power or on the throttle, it's there. With the Carburettor, it's a lot smoother delivery, which is good and bad in some sense. Now, I find the Carburettor, when I'm doing extreme stuff and I'm on the clutch and I'm just bobbing, the carb is great because the delivery is very smooth. I find a TPI is very snappy, so it's there, so it's all or nothing. Some people might like that, but personally I don't like that. I like the power of delivery of the Carburettor to be a lot smoother, and that's what I find is the biggest difference. On the other hand, if you're riding trails and then all of a sudden you come to a big incline, with the TPI you can give it an handful and the power is instantly there, and you're there. I just find sometimes with the carb the power isn't instantly there, and sometimes you might have to get on the clutch. So it's a bit of swings and roundabouts. I quite like getting on the clutch. I think you've got to ride the clutch a little bit more with the Carburettor. You've definitely got to ride the bike more. I don't think it's as forgiving as a TPI, but as the bike feels and the power performs, I like the Carburettor. I've got nothing against the TPI. I quite like a TPI, but if I had to pick, I would definitely go for carb. Only just because the power is a lot smoother. And don't be fooled by the Carburettors, because when they are actually opened up, they do shift. They're just as fast as a TPI, if not faster. Once you get on that main jet and you're getting that, it'll go. So yeah, so that's really my intake on the difference between the TPI and the carb. So if you are thinking of maybe going from a TPI to a carb, you need to be jetting the bike properly. So many people I've viewed that have gone from a TPI to a Carburettor, they'll just jump on the Carburettor bike and they'll go, oh, it's nothing like the TPI, the power isn't there. The TPIs are there out the box. They are what they are. The Carburettor bikes, they need to be tuned. Very rare you'll buy a brand new Carburettor bike and be able to jump on it and it's there, a bike straight out the box, and it's been there. I've always had to rejet it or change the needle, whatever. Same as this bike, 2023, brand spanking new, standard jetting. It's not right. It's got to be changed. So again, I'm going to have to strip this down and put the right jetting in there. But like I said, that's something we'll talk about again. So yeah, so that's basically it, guys. That's the differences. That's a bit of a run through of my bike and what I run and why I run it. Oh, just one more thing. What I did notice with these fan kits. Great that they come with a fan, absolutely amazing. But they're not the best fans. What I would advise is when you're cleaning these bikes, try and pull this rubber boot back. Not every time, but every now and again, and spray a bit of WD in there, because I just find they suck in so much water, and if you don't do that, within no time, your fan will just pack in. I had one go on my old bike, so I know they don't last long. If you look after them, they'll probably last twice as long. But obviously at the time I didn't know a lot about them. So yeah, that's another little trick. Pull the boot back, WD-40, keep it all looped in there. Oh, and also as well, when I do the jetting, I will be doing the plug. Change the plug to an iridium plug as well. So again, that's another thing we'll talk about. Headstock, very dry from the factory. If you have got a new bike or you've got a bike a year old, I would advise to take the headstock out and grease it, because I had murder with mine seizing up from lack of grease. And also, bottom linkage bearing, the rear one, very dry, go very dry in no time. Front two were quite good, rear one, bone dry. Into the roller bearings on the swinging arm, give them a grease. But yeah, that's another thing just to stay on top of as well. I did notice that those linkage bearings dry out really quick, so does the headstock. So yeah, so that's about it, guys. Like I say, I hope you've taken something from this. Maybe a couple of little things will help you. Yeah, so stay tuned, and obviously we'll be talking about the clutch, the jetting, the head further on down the line. But I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe.